Well, thank you so much. Joining us today on KGNU is Evan Giia in advance of her Colorado live dates in November on her Endorphins tour. If you are not already familiar with her name, she's been at major festivals like Coachella. She's collaborated with the likes of Gorgon City and Odessa on their Foreign Family Collective label. And she is featured on the latest brand new single from What So Not. And she is here with us today. So thank you so much for taking the time out to say hi to all of our KGNU listeners.
Hi guys, thanks for having me.
Oh, it's a joy. And I guess sort of first off is sort of like the easy but also super hard question. Just for listeners who might not be as familiar with your sound, this is the question is like, can you describe your vibe in your own words? And also just because your music's got like such an uplifting energy, I'd love to hear how you think of it. I know you've said pretty bangers before, which I think is just such a great
Yeah,
way of putting it. But yeah, like tell me a little more about that.
sure. So, I mean, I'm striving to make music that has catchy pop melodies, but with an electronic backbone. So, not the classic pop production, but like, the strong 808s from electronic music with a very catchy, like pop melody on top. So, I'm trying to ride both the electronic and pop world and kind of make my own little lane.
Best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Sweet, sweet. And I guess just to back it up a little bit, and you were actually classically trained, right? Is in opera.
Yes.
And even and I bring this up because one of the other things I do is host the classical music show here on KGNU. And you even studied at Boston Symphony Summer Home in Tanglewood, which I thought that was great. I'd love
Yeah.
to learn more about how that informs what you do today. Like how did you personally transition into bringing these talents into the pop world?
First off, so exciting that you know of Tanglewood. Not many people in my world do. So it was an honor to study there for the summer that I did. I was trained classically and studied both at Boston University and all different schools around the greater Boston area. Did a lot of competitions. This was all before college. I got into Berkeley College of Music, and that's kind of where my transition started from a classical background to a more contemporary route.
Mhm.
And I think it's one of the most like powerful things I could have started with because it really sets the backbone of my technique, my breath work, my stamina on stage, my diction, my knowledge of my instrument. I don't think many singers in my category really understand what's going on. And I still study regularly with a vocal coach, and I really take like the art of my voice really seriously. So, and that all comes from my background in classical music.
That is so awesome and so well put. So you're originally from Boston or Boston area, and these days though you're based in Brooklyn.
I am. I'm in Williamsburg, Brooklyn.
Oh, awesome! And you are headed our way in November. Your tour is like crazy; it's all over the place. But let me make sure I've got this right. Thursday, November 11th, you're going to be in Aspen,
Yes.
and then Friday, November 12th at the Larimer Lounge in Denver, right?
Yes. Yeah. I'm so excited. Denver's actually sold out, but we're trying to keep pushing the tickets in case some people don't show. That was very exciting. So I clearly have my Denver Gia gang already showing up.
Awesome.
And then Aspen is filling up slowly, but I'm so excited. I've played at Belly Up once before when I was opening for Big Wild.
Okay.
And it's just such an awesome venue, and Aspen in
Yeah.
general is just such a cool place to be. So I'm ecstatic to bring the Endorphins tour there. It's brand new production, crazy lights, and I'm playing all the songs off my EP. So
Nice. And is this your first time in Denver?
no, I've played in Denver before on some of my opening acts, but it's definitely my first time coming as my own show as the headliner.
Nice, nice. And like probably, I mean, everybody out on the road today has had like some sort of awful and awesome and amazing story about the pandemic and kind of short their touring plans, but you definitely felt that because you were about to really like embark on a pretty major headliner tour when we all just had to go home.
Yeah, that was
Tell me
really
about that.
tough.
Yeah.
I basically did all the prep that I had to redo all over again now, but I prepped for about like a year to get to this final headline tour. And a background about me, I've been supporting other acts for about 5 years.
Mm.
It's where my career kind of started, and how most people found out about me is going on this arena tour with Odessa as first of three, and then from Jai Wolf to Big Wild to Lose the Child after that. I am very, very familiar with opening up a crowd and playing at 6 p.m. when the lights are still on, only have 5 foot of space, everybody's talking. Like, I'm really used to that. So to
Yeah.
have my own stage and my own show is the biggest blessing and definitely biggest milestone of my career so
Wow.
far.
Yeah.
And so yeah, tons of effort, tons of work. I got to play LA, then San Francisco, was on a flight to Seattle for the third one and didn't even leave the airport, got right back on a different plane
Wow.
because they were shutting everything down. Seattle was actually a hot spot at the
Yeah.
time too, so it was
Yeah.
really scary. And then in a matter of 24 hours, I was in Vermont, and I lived in Vermont with my family in the middle of the woods for 5 months. So
That doesn't sound so
it's
bad.
no, I was actually very, very blessed, had an amazing COVID experience with my family. Obviously, there's like the push and pulls of living back with your family when
Yep.
you're 30 years old, but I'm so blessed for the experience. But it was a very big high to low, like up
Yeah.
on stage, first headline tour, in the middle of the silence in the woods. So I
Oh,
had to kind of navigate that and understand how to continue to promote myself. And, live is the best way to make money. So I restructured my whole business, and I'm really grateful to be here now going back on tour.
that is an amazing perspective. That's awesome. And you toured earlier this year with Member, right? So you've been on the road a bit.
Yes, I was on the Lose a Child tour. I've done shows with Memba before, but yeah, I've already got to do the South and pretty much all over the US. So it was a perfect precursor to this just tour coming up.
Nice. So back in full effect. One thing, it was funny. One thing I absolutely love about your work is just how connected it is to all the folks in your life. And, disclaimer, fun fact, one half of Memba, who you just toured with and you're a super close collaborator with, and your most recent singles is, I was going to say fiance, but now husband?
Now husband, yeah.
As of like a couple weeks ago.
That was probably like month and a half ago now.
Wow.
So
Congratulations.
thank you so much. It's such a crazy shift. And yeah, everybody in the Evan Giia project is close to my heart. My brother is my tour manager. Sean's my husband. He makes all my music. Will is the other half of Memba, is my best friend. And my family, you'll see them at front of house at every single one of these shows. My family, both mom and dad, travel with me. So
Oh,
it's all
wow.
very close to home.
That is so awesome. Well, we are super looking forward. I mean, I was gonna say we're looking forward to having you in Denver, but like no, we're looking forward to having your whole
The
family
fam.
in
Yeah.
Denver. Tell us what our listeners who hopefully got their tickets to the Larimer Lounge already can expect, or if they run up and come hang out with you in Aspen.
So they can expect, I named the tour the Endorphins Tour for a reason. I really only have one goal, and that's to pass the endorphins that I feel up on stage to the fans watching. So I expect them to have just a rush of dopamine and sweat and smiling and screaming and maybe crying at certain points too. I want it to be a huge energy release for people, and that's how I programmed and designed the show. And yeah, hopefully they're leaving with a big smile. So
Oh, good. We are super psyched to have you in our neighborhood, bringing this great energy, which we all need right now. Until then, just hope you have a fantastic time on this tour. I saw you're going to be playing in my absolute favorite venue in Portland, Oregon. I'm super jealous.
Doug Fir.
Yeah.
Cool.
I guess just one more question. Anything that you would want to, we call ourselves, we're the KGN universe, right? And anything you want to tell folks in the KGN universe before we see you in town?
Yeah, sure. One thing just to mention about the show, I'm selling brand new Endorphins merch, which I designed myself. So I have hoodies and bucket hats and water bottles and all these things that like I take a lot of pride in designing. So I'm so excited to sell that stuff. And I do a meet and greet after every show. So I will stay there till as late as I need to hug, sign, take pictures, and just physically meet every single one of you. That's I think one of my favorite parts about this whole thing is meeting the Gia gang. So definitely you'll be meeting me face to face.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you for being that person. Speaking
of course.
of all of us. Well, we have been speaking with Evan Giia in advance of her show at the Larimer Lounge on Friday, November 12th, also doing a date in Aspen that same week. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us today on KGNU.
Thank you. Yeah. And if you didn't get tickets for Denver, I'll see you in Aspen. Short drive away, make a trip out of it. And yeah, listen to the Endorphins EP leading up because you'll have that much more of a show.
Great. Well, thanks again.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.